On the credits, I'm gonna splice this new thing in because there was some real issues with the first release. It's been an eye-opening experience, actually. I had to do some soul searching because I really screwed the pooch with that first opening track version of Neophyte. When I looked at the YouTube analytics and saw that like almost anybody who looked at it just sort of stopped listening within the first few seconds, I realized that that was just self-indulgent and ridiculous. So what I've done is I changed it radically by thinning out the sort of difficult listening hour, repetitive spoken word stuff, and I added a top line melody with a string trio, which actually lifts the whole thing up into a whole nother place, and I'm absolutely over the moon. I hope anybody who was turned off by the first version will give me another chance and check that out. Hi, Vinny. Yep. So let me give you another shot at the credits for the track order. The first track is now Pizza Caterer, incorporating the Plumbers by my buddy Dave Robbins. The free jazz guitar solo bit in the middle is all him. It's got nothing to do with me. He just emailed that to me, and I just spliced it in with the Pizza Caterer at the beginning and the end. Was totally inspired by the bongos, which actually kind of runs through a lot of the tracks in the whole thing. Second track, and you look at me as if to say, features my buddy Vinny here. That's the kind of personal, what's going on here, true story situation. Third track now is the Scourge, which is a setting of a Trump speech early in the pandemic lockdown, which is I just absolutely amazes me because he was sort of like deflecting the whole pandemic thing by talking about the drug cartels. Like the scourge isn't the virus. The scourge is drugs coming in, taking advantage of the virus or something. It's just like I think it's like a historical document. So and I make fun of it with music. Fourth track, Up and Out, personal reflections of a place that means a lot to me, the Shangam Ridge in upstate New York. Muad'Din samples a Islamic call to prayer in Marylebone. Start is just, I think, a beautiful piece of music. Then The Mule samples 1960s BBC radio program, The Foundation Trilogy by Isaac Asimov. Next one is another collaboration between me and my buddy Dave Robbins, aka Fluvium Dilemma, his fake stage name when we get together to do projects like this. Again, I start out with a synthetic setting and I just like take his bit and stick it in the middle. A little backstory on that is it's kind of been a running joke with me and him for years. Back when we were in college, we looked at Heavy Metal Magazine, which is this sort of English version of this French Metal Hurlant or something like that, where this lady, as it turns out, it's embarrassing, but she's like this feminist comic book author. I call her a guy. Out of ignorance, did this thing called 1996, where everybody talks dumb like this, and Dave and I have been doing that like ever since. Then we have a little bit Light and Fluff, Memory of a Sunny Day, and then we go into Don Don, which is on one hand just a kind of an experimental piece where I take literally just me saying the word Don into a microphone, and just slice it and dice it and transpose it and add some relay and delay and reverb effects. And that's kind of it. The other thing is it's a commentary on how I just basically hate when people say the word Don to me over and again loudly. It sounds like drums in my head. Don, 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 Don. Ever since I was a little kid. Which is like I don't like the name Don because of that. Because I'm sensitive. I'm So Afraid spins off to the same thing. It just takes it in a different place, but gets into some kind of personal shit that I'm going through, which is, it's really interesting how I kind of rushed to send out that first version of the playlist with Neophyte in the front, and I didn't take anybody's advice, and I think it was because of this kind of like fake arrogance that kind of is a mask for insecurity or something. It's just it goes into this gnarly place that thankfully I'm becoming free of, because I took the advice, the analytics from the YouTube, and I saw, well, people, they dig this and they don't dig that, so why would you just do it for yourself? It's stupid. That goes into A Joy Not With No Earthly Bliss, a 16th century poem by Anonymous that was famously set by William Byrd, going into Neophyte, the new version, which significantly samples Glenn Gould's spoken word from his radio program Casals, A Portrait for Radio. Then we go into Ozzy's theme and Mubanta Boogaloo, which are sort of legacy pieces done on the Korg. Then to Jew on a Duck, which is really the thing about 1996. And then the spin-off of that is Duggan with Dilemma. And then it ends with Ode for Snipper Bear, lyrics by Kathy Sharp, my wife. Nay Poulton, the Snipper Bear, some sort of legend at the bottom of the Poulton Garden in England. So that's I think where all credit is due. And thank you very, very, very much for looking or listening to this whole thing. And yeah, it sounds cheesy, but I really would like your commentary one way or the other. Even if you hate it, that's okay. If you want to subscribe, I'm not making any money off this or anything, but it helps me. And if I make any new versions or something, then you might get a notification or something. I'm not sure how that works. But then if you like or dislike or send a commentary, then it helps. Okay, cool. Thank you. Love you. Bye.